Hello aspirants, welcome to CS Educators Hub. Here in this platform, we provide you proper guidance in civil service and we also conduct various courses where we try to put the quality education that is required for civil services. And here in this video, we are going to present a topic, a very important topic rather, in political science and international optional that is related to fundamental rights. So here we would be presenting it. So let's start. So as the topic talks about fundamental rights, there are a lot of dimensions of fundamental rights which are there, but we would be confining to the doctrine of basic structure, which is related to fundamental rights in this video. So let's get started with it. So first of all, here is a list of the fundamental rights which are there. We all know: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, right to culture and education, right to constitutional remedies. Now, all these are regarded as fundamental rights. So before understanding what is fundamental rights, we should have a little bit of idea about what exactly are rights, So, in order to lead our life in a dignified way, we need certain basic facilities in our society, so that we can ease our life, our day-to-day life. So for that matter, when we establish our relations with the state where we live in, so the state guarantees certain rights, okay, to us, uh, which are there for us in order to ensure protection and security to our lives. All right. So in that case, when we talk about fundamental rights, these are the special kinds of rights which a person acquire being a citizen of a particular state. All right. And in case of India also, the Indian Constitution mentions about several fundamental rights which are given below. So in this case, when we talk about fundamental rights, okay, a very important topic, that is the basic structure doctrine, comes up. All right. So we'll take up one issue or one question for that matter, and then we would go on to discuss, because these questions are very important as far as UPSC or any other state civil services or APSC in case of Assam is concerned, is very, very important. So the art of answer writing is the main thing that actually counts on. So অসমৰ ষ্টুডেণ্টছৰ কাৰণে ক'ব বিচাৰিছো যে যেতিয়ালৈকে আপোনালোকে আনচাৰ ৰাইটিঙৰ ওপৰত প্ৰেজেন্টেবল হ'ব নোৱাৰিছে, তেতিয়ালৈকে you cannot expect a good result in civil services. So in that case, after understanding a particular topic, it is very important যে আপোনালোকে সেই আনচাৰ ৰাইটিঙৰ প্ৰেক্টিছো কৰে সেই টপিকৰ ওপৰত, okay? And we in this CS Educators Hub, we try to put our best in order to develop the answer writing skills in people. So it needs a lot of improvement, and that can be done by practice and very essentially by proper guidance, because there are a lot of things available around, and UPSC ki hoy, they, or in APSC in the present new pattern, they provide you questions for 10 marks, they provide you questions for 15 to 20 marks. So in that case, আপোনালোকে জানিব লাগিব that what exactly you need to put in an answer of 10 marks and what exactly you need to put in a 15 marks answer. And APSC আৰু এটা বস্তু কি হয় that there are no direct questions that are being asked in mains. They will always try to ask something analytical. So in that case, আমি যেতিয়া যিকোনো টপিক পঢ়িম, তেতিয়া we would try to go through the questions, that যদি এইটো টপিকৰ ওপৰত particular এটা question আহে, what do I write, what all are the keywords that I need to mention. So that is very important, and that is where we connect to people, and that is where we try to help people, and our sole aim is to give our best so that you come up with your best results as far as civil service is concerned. So right now we would be looking into this doctrine of basic structure. So if a question comes on evaluation of basic structure, then we would see what is it there. Okay. So meanwhile, I would like to inform all of you about our course that is going to launch. That is a course on PSIR optional, which will run for 100 hours and there we would be providing our best guidance to all the aspirants, and we would be providing different things which are enlisted in this banner, where you can see that we would be providing with quality PPTs, quality study material, and also very importantly answer writing sessions. And we would be also connecting to all the aspirants personally in order to ensure their success, so that we can advise them on their improvement. We can also let them know what their weaknesses are, what their strong points are. So in that case, we are initiating this course, and our sole aim is to help aspirants, the serious aspirants, to come up with flying colors in future in civil services. So আমি সামনে basic doctrine কি হয় exactly. Now if you could see this diagram, where you would see that the entire circle talks about the whole constitution, and basic structure is a smaller part of the one. Now what does it signify? It signifies that although the entire constitution is been loaded with a lot of provisions, lot of articles that are included, but we see that there are certain features of Indian constitution which are very, very important, and those are only included in the basic structure doctrine. Etu karone ami dekhisu je gote circle kon basic doctrine nohoy, but only a small part of this entire constitution is the basic structure. All right, now let us come to the answer of what this basic structure is all about. Okay, now let us know a little bit about the history first, that it is a doctrine pronounced by Supreme Court in Ishwananda Bharti case that determined the scope of amending power of parliament. So what is this basic structure all about? Now what it has been seen that this constitution of India was a result of a lot of effort made by different lawyers, different professionals back in 1950s, right? And then we have got one of the longest constitutions of the world, for the largest democracy, one of the largest democracies in the world. So in that case, there are a lot of provisions, but at the same time, we see that India is a very diverse country, and it is being resided by a lot of diverse people. So in that case, there is a constant change in the scenario, where everything is changing. Like if we come to politics, if we come to the behavior of people, if we come to the economy, everything is in changing mode, right? So in that case, what is happening? There are a lot of demands that are being coming in, and as a result, we have seen that in Indian history, there was a time when this constitution, as it is very much flexible, or we can say that it is a blend of both rigidity as well as flexibility. So by taking advantage of this flexible attitude of, or flexible feature of this Indian constitution, a lot of provisions went for changes, okay, by different governments who were in power in different periods of time. So in that case, what happened at one time, it was been observed that people were misusing this flexible feature of constitution, and they were bringing up changes according to their own convenience, okay, according to the convenience of the ruling government, okay, or according to the convenience of the people who were in power. So at that time, the Supreme Court decided in one of the case, in fact, a very famous case called as Ishwananda Bharti case, that this kind of distortions should not happen to the Constitution of India. Otherwise, it will risk the life of the people in a democratic setup. Okay, because India is essentially a democratic nation where it works for the welfare of the people, and if every coming and going government tries to change the constitution, which is the basis of the law of this land, then things might go undemocratic. Okay, and that was the reason Supreme Court observed that this tendency of changing the provisions of the constitution needs to be stopped. However, our constitution is a very flexible one, therefore we cannot make it too rigid that with the changing times things cannot be changed. So for that matter, Supreme Court decided to strike a balance that there might be certain provisions which are subject to changes, but there should be a limitation to it. Okay, so we would see that this there are certain topics which comes under the basic structure doctrine, where it has been said that these provisions cannot be changed. Okay, like the fundamental rights, the provision of fundamental rights, like the provision of secularism, like the provision of federal structure of India. All these things are very, very basic to Indian democracy, and that cannot be changed, or that comes under basic structure doctrine. Okay, in order to uphold the democratic rights of the people of India. All right. Now here, if you see, the doctrine of basic structure makes Indian Supreme Court the strongest court in the world, because even US Supreme Court does not have power to question the validity of the amendment. Okay, suppose a constitutional amendment or a change in the constitutional provisions has been initiated, and then in India, what happens? The Supreme Court can exactly assess the validity. Okay, whether this change which is upcoming goes with the ideals of the constitution or not. Okay, so that is how the basic structure doctrine actually works in India. All right. Now, if you see the Indian history, there are three. We have divided this into three stages when it comes to this basic structure theory. One is the pre-Keshavananda position, that is before this Keshavananda case took place, there was no mention of basic structure. In Indian polity. But once this Keshavananda Bharati decision came up, this basic structure theory was proposed. Okay, and after this Keshavananda theory case was done, then this basic structure doctrine came up in a very strong way in our country. And to that, what happened? Day by day, lots of things are coming inside this basic structure doctrine. Okay, suppose it was related to fundamental rights initially, but then later on we see that a lot of other features has also come in, and has been included in this basic structure doctrine, which cannot be changed that easily with any upcoming authority or upcoming government that is there in India. All right. So unique aspect of doctrine of basic structure is that it makes judiciary the supreme legislature, which means the Constituent Assembly in case. And normally judiciary has to review the act and to see whether they are in accordance with the constitution or not. So the key sentence that you need to use is that in our answer is that Supreme Court basically tests whether the change that is going to come up in the constitution goes by the constitution or not. Okay, whether it encroaches upon the democratic rights of people, or else it upholds the democratic rights of people. Okay, so what is unique in this doctrine of basic structure is that amendments are considered to be part of the constitution itself. Hence, judiciary is not supposed to review the amendments. All right. So there are lots of criticisms that are coming in. There are lots of things which are coming in, but then we need to see that how Supreme Court actually interprets it, and what is the logic behind such kind of basic structure. Okay, so amendment should not be the rewriting of the constitution, and there is no limit on amending power, but it should not go to the extent that we are unable to find original constitution. So it might happen that there might be a lot of changes, and in Indian history we have witnessed such kind of changes where we also found the concept like mini constitution that has come up during Indira Gandhi's reign. Okay, where we see that a lot of provisions of Indian constitution was being changed, and that actually served as a kind of threat to Indian democracy. And that was the period when it was being decided that this undue advantage of the feature of flexibility should not be used by any authority, whoever be it in power, in order to play with the lives of democratic people who exist in the country, or to play with the democratic structure that exists in India, right? So in that case, it was a kind of limitation that was being made in undue changes that could come up in the constitution. So আমি দেখিছো যে basic structure of the constitution is very, very important part of PSIR optional, and in order to uphold the democratic rights of the country or the democratic rights of the people of India, we need this basic structure. Okay, so why it is important? So we can assume that Constituent Assembly represents the general will or popular sovereignty. Okay, now when we talk about general will, we remember about Rousseau, right? And also popular sovereignty. where the social contractualists, this liberal people, they talk more of rights of individuals. Okay, so so we see that that basic structure of the Indian Constitution, where judiciary has been given a little bit more right to interpret that what the legislature is basically trying to do. So it acts as a kind of checks and balance over these two institutions of legislature as well as judiciary, whereby the welfare of the people is taken care of. Understood? So the whole idea of this basic structure of the Indian Constitution implies that the democratic structure, or if you see the preamble of the Indian Constitution, where we see that a lot of basic principles are being mentioned. If we want to make a successful Indian democracy by upholding all the values and the principles that are being enshrined in the preamble, or for that matter in the Constitution of India, we need to uphold this kind of basic structure, whereby the main goal is to secure and protect the life as well as the rights of the people of India. Understood? So আমি দেখিলো যে in this particular concept which is there, it is talking about democracy, okay, which becomes a very, very important part of PSIR optional, or a topic which is even important for GS point of view. So we need to integrate. আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব? আমি integrate কৰিব লাগিব, right? When we are talking about basic structure, আমি এইটো ভাবিব লাগিব যে when we are talking about democracy, when we are talking about amendment, okay, when we are talking about the features of constitution, then this particular aspect should come in. Okay, so this integration and interlinkage of different topics should come in when you understand a particular topic, and then only you can write beautiful answers, presentable answers. So আমি হেতুকে ট্রাই কৰিম যে আপোনালোকক এনেকুৱা এটা গাইডেন্স দিব পাৰো, when we conduct our classes, আমি এক্সপ্লেনেশনৰ লগত আপোনালোকক বেষ্ট অফ দি বেষ্ট মেটেৰিয়েল দিবলৈ ট্ৰাই কৰি আছো, and best of the best classes, the quality classes ever in PSIR, basically in Assam, we are going to provide you, and also the answer writing session, because আপোনালোকৰ যেটো success rate, okay, that will depend on what you write in mains, because আমি জানো যে নতুন যেটো আমাৰ pattern আহিছে APSC এর, তাতে we see that almost 2000 marks is for mains, and that is a very much important factor which will determine your rank, okay, or your rate of success. Okay, so আমি কি দেখাবো পাৰো, that is more important within that 3 hours. Okay, so our presentation skill, আমি যেতিয়া answer এটা লিখিম, তেতিয়া what are the keywords, ঠিক আছে, বা কেনেকে আমি লিখিছো, whether we are maintaining the structure of a proper answer or not. And regarding PSIR optional, it needs little bit of expertise also. So in that case, আমি আপোনালোকক হেতুকে আমি try কৰিম যে সেই expertise খিনি আমি আপোনালোকৰ দিব পাৰো, so that you can put it together when you really go for writing mains answer. Writing answer for mains. So in that case, it is very important that you get a proper guidance. এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আপুনি গোটেইখিনি বস্তু একেলগতে পঢ়িব লাগিব and then you get confused, okay? But you need to study everything in a very systematic and organized manner, where we will help you, and therefore you would save your effort, save your time, and thereby your chances of getting selected would be greater. Okay, so by this video we are trying to connect to lot of people, and মই ভাবিছো যে এই ভিডিওটোৰ জৰিয়তে আপোনালোকক বহুতখিনি বেনিফিটস হ'ব, and you might have got the idea also যে আমি কেনেকে ক্লাसेस বোৰ কন্ডাক্ট কৰিম, and what things we are exactly going to do. So what we can assure right now is quality, okay, and a kind of assurance that we can teach you that what is required for civil services. Okay, so that is why here is again the details of the course, the online course that we are going to launch for 100 hours for PSIR optional. So please go through it, and if you are interested, please contact us in the number that is given below, or in the email ID that is there. So thank you everyone for joining in this session, and I hope all of you must have enjoyed this session, as well as your knowledge would be enhanced. Okay, so মই অসমৰ এক্সপেৰিয়েন্স খিনিকো হেতুকে ক'ব বিচাৰিম যে আপোনালোকে ভিডিঅ'ছ খিনি চাওক, আৰু আপোনালোকে ডিসাইড কৰক if you decide to take PSIR optional, that would be the best thing ever, because সেইখিনি আপনার GSO to help করিব. So at the same time, we are here to guide you. So you are most welcome in our platform, so that you get your dream job soon in future. So thank you so much, all of you. Thank you for listening to us.